So here's the thing. This is why we talk about lightning bolts, loved ones. Because once you know better, you better do better. Or you are going to get, and as you should, you are the best of the best right now. The fact that these ones right here, you showed up for this. When we know who we're working with, you be clear. We are tuned in to who's receiving the messages. And so are they. So you're getting exactly what you need right now. You're getting all the tools that you need. And so when you are having your tests, when you are feeling your fires, go into your toolbox. And if you don't know what those tools are, we're going to give you a document, literally, so you can print it off. It's going to have little cute little boxes where you can check it off if you've actually seen the course relating to it. So if you're like, oh shit, I haven't seen this one, minding your words. That one I have no check mark. Proceed to that. It's going to be detailed 1, 2, 3, how spirit brought it in. Because here's the thing, we're building the wisdom system right now as we speak. They are bringing it in. You are learning it firsthand. This is the order in which you need to learn the 70% you never knew. The paperwork will not get you in to the garden. I don't know how many times we have to say this. I don't care what judge you know. I don't care how long you've been doing this. No one beats that man. No one has the knowledge that that man has. If you do step forward, please show us the way. He has. But here's the thing, and we've said this, we've given the remedy already. So the fact that none of our loved ones have figured it out lets you know it's more than just paperwork. Darren brought the equity. He brought its magnitude is unfathomable as far as its complexity. Yes, I will never, just because it's 30%, you be clear, that 30%, it holds merit. So the fact that there's 70% that's missing lets you know how much we have to grow to get to where we want to go. Because here's the thing, loved ones, where we want to go, it's not about money. We see all our loved ones trying to protect all their 3D isms. I want to bring all this into the garden. Missed it. You don't need shit in the garden. Never mind 3D bullshit. Crypto, monopoly money. Stop it. You don't need these things where we're going. So the fact that you're trying to protect them and bring them into the garden, stop it. These trusts you want to make, you're trying to merge 3D and 5D. Ugh. I'm coming out of my skin right now. So is spirit. But they taught us that. That's why this 70%, we need to get. So we're at a place where we can walk into 5D and go, fuck you, 3D. I don't need any of your shit. I don't need any of your attachments. Don't need any of your fake money. Why the fuck would you want to bring fake money into the garden? I don't care if you call it crypto. You want to bring gold and silver? No problem. Totally different. You want to bring crystals and gems? Fucking rights. You bring dirty money in, get the fuck out of here. Holy shit, sorry. This is why I can't come on a lot of the lives. My face and the energy that comes through me. When people are like, so I want to like define how I like completely like make sure that my vehicles and all of the assets and all the toys that I got on like the Monopoly game can come with me. Huh. Do you notice we don't answer those questions? We let you guys run. You say it this way and you say it that way. You will get to such a state of being by doing these new teachings that Jesus was a multimillionaire. Do you know that, loved ones? If you don't, now you do. There's a reason he didn't have to work. Yeah, he had skills. He didn't have to work. And wherever you went, things were provided. Imagine where the universe provides for you before you even come. But we are attached, just like Neo. Thinking, mortgage, payments, property, tax, hydro, phone bills, food. So here's the thing, that's where we're coming from. We're not discrediting that. We're just saying, okay, so if you're waking up and you're Neo going, holy shit, this sucks. I don't want to be here. It's scary as shit. I want to get out of here. I want to get to this garden they speak of. And here's the thing. In Matrix, they couldn't show the garden. It's documentary. That's the Third Testament. That's us. It's being written right now. So with that, thank you for showing up for this. As you can see, it is multi-layered, multi-dimensional, this course. We highly recommend you listen to it many times. And they say, especially on audio, the visual will distract. When you can drive, or you can just do things where you can just listen to this over and over, implants, new programming, defragments, they're able to work with you more. And then you start taking just a few moments, loved ones, set intentions, open your crown when you're flushing. Allow these beings to come and remove things from you. There's a meditation coming. The reason I had to introduce this course is to energetically prepare you. So when these beings show up, you don't freak out. Because I know the first time I met an angelic being, holy shit, I was frozen. I couldn't move. She was the most beautiful thing in the world, but she scared the shit out of me because of my belief systems. So this is about getting you in sync, implanting and programming you with as many 5D inserts as possible. So as you move up, it's easier. Doesn't hurt so much. It's not so uncomfortable. It's about smoothing this out for you a little bit, so it's not so jagged. Short and narrow is the path to everlasting life. Short and narrow, which means it's not long, but you better believe it's going to test you, loved ones. We have the ability to come back and give you that road. And that's why this information is coming in now. That's why we said, feel this. If you don't like it, it irritates you, leave. We don't charge you anything. We don't ask anything of you except to show up. That's it. Just get these downloads, get these imprints. That's all. All right, I'm going to stay in the background as usual and leave you loved ones to speak and share your experiences and my queens to take over. And just know, and I have all these angelic beings, this royal galactic family, not galactic family, royal. Loved ones, we have the best of the best working with us right now. I am honored to channel this. Thank you, Jody. It's not me. It's not divergence. I give credit. I just know how to show up for them. And you know today, loved ones, many of you on here got an absolute ass kicking. Carol, honey. Girl. I was shaking as I was bringing in your messages, knowing not that this was going to disrupt you, it was going to disrupt others. Because here's the thing, Spirit told me about Carol. She doesn't like bullshitters. She doesn't like people that dance around the truth and give her half messages. This woman, they said, respects energy that shows up and goes, come here, honey. I'm doing this because Spirit saying, I have enough of a relationship with you that I can bring you to this mirror and go, look, you're doing things that aren't serving you. Your crown is crooked and I'm not going to fix it for you. You are, if you want to. And it's crooked because things aren't working for you in your life right now. You're getting conflict in your confine. So now it's about disengage. Go back to presence. Open your crown, flush that energy, cut any dysfunctional cords, which you now have tools to do. Sit in that energy and go, just be, release it. This is about having filters, loved ones. No one else has filters. Now, these are filters. These are ways for us to respond, not react. To be able to bring in the energy, not go, bleh. Go. Feel the difference. Bleh. Versus, they're just messengers, loved ones. They're just mirrors. Stop getting so pissed off at them. And if you have birthed, or if you know of any being that is younger than you, it is more enlightened. Period. Why would the universe bring in any being that is less enlightened than the one before it? If we're meant to ascend. So parents, loved ones who are awakening. This was a big one, who feel the need to get in all of their loved ones' lanes and bring them along. Look what I learned. And I recognize this wound in you, and look what you're bleeding right here, right here. No, stay in your own lane. Bring in your own light. Hold your own light. Others will see it. That's how it's supposed to work. All right. Please, any comments, any shares, vocalize them, put them on the record. We need them on the record. And more importantly, thank you for showing up. Love you.
All right, so before we open the mic, feel free to drop your comments in the chat. So yes, everything you saw tonight will be shared on the Kindergarten Telegram. Everything, in all ways. Links, posts, pictures, PDFs, you will have it all. It will be there. The meditation is already up on YouTube, so I will post a link, just a little gift for you guys, but this Zoom will be available by tomorrow, okay? So if you guys want to chat or do you have any questions? Sorry, Ravina. Please go ahead.
Hi, while you are putting in the chat, I wanted to share an experience. my very first breath work that I did. And was that morning, that particular morning, I woke up with a headache. And I had that headache all morning. Then we started a class with divergence. And surprisingly enough, we started with a breath work, and I didn't expect that, but we did do that. And as I was breathing in and breathing out, that was to release any energy that didn't serve us, was to relieve any pain that we're feeling at the moment. I felt a weight, like something came out of my mouth through that breath out. And only later I noticed that my headache was removed. Like I didn't have headache anymore. It is in the moment I realized the how powerful the breath is, like how potent that was. We always say that the power of the breath, but I experienced it and I'm like, it is amazing. I was amazed myself because it never happened to me before. So it was an experience, and I really wanted to share it with you because I was surprised about that. So I thought to share it with you. So thank you for listening. And if you want to share your experience, please do so, and I'll unmute whoever would like to share it.
Yes, just put your hand up physically or on here, and then we can go through and unmute you if you would like to share. And you don't just have to share about your meditation. Sorry, you can also share about if you felt you had any programming around the word psychic and what it meant. That was a big one too today. So you can share about your meditation, or feel free to share about that. Because when Jody and I were talking about this earlier, I actually appreciated her sharing how much programming she had received around it, because I had the exact opposite. I came out of the womb wanting to be a psychic. I was probably like holding a picket post. I want to be a psychic. My little me showed up and she's like, yeah, Mom, we want to be one all our whole lives. So I didn't have any of that, but I loved hearing that in others and watching. So by you guys sharing that, you're going to help many others as well. So I had none of it. And I thought everyone wanted to be psychic. I was like, what do you mean you don't want to be psychic? It's the bee's knees. So if you share what you had, and it's the first part is recognize it. Oh my gosh, I do. I have that in me. Great. Then you can do something about it. But if you're like, oh no, that energy doesn't go away. So does anybody want to share?
Nick and Joe has their hand up.
Oh, you got to like. Yeah. Okay, one second.
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah. So I definitely have a reaction to the psychic word for sure. I would say there's a lot of things with my religious background that I've struggled with moving through to get to the other side. However, because I'm open and I'm willing to listen and gather information myself, I recognize that decisions that other people have made don't necessarily mean the same to me that they have made to them. So what has been very exciting for me is actually getting my hands on information and assessing it and feeling it and being able to look at who I am and where I'm going and what applies to me and what is taking me there. That's been a really exciting process. So these words that initially cause me to think or feel a certain way, I have to step back and reassess them, whether that's the word psychic, or I asked the question a number of weeks ago when Jody refers to source and spirit. Just those somewhat ambiguous terms alone were problematic for me coming from a religious background where we refer to creator or God. So all of that, just the etymology of the word is a trigger. And the whole process of moving through that is a challenge, but it's been exciting. And even tonight, hearing the word definitions, that was very cool. I hadn't actually gone to a book and looked up the definitions before. I just accepted what was given to me, and the responses that I had were appropriate because of that.
Thank you for sharing that. And you said a word, you said, was it problematic? And what they said is they kind of made up a new word, is programmatic. Like the word was pre-programmed with something, because if we go to the source of it, like we've been seeing with the crayon equity version and today, we're like, whoa, that's pretty big. So I want to ask you, what tools do you use? Because I know that you've been with us for a long time. So what tools do you use to work through this?
Sorry, I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Do you find that the minding your words, or we did do a part of your breath, like the power of your breath, part 1, or even just coming to the kindergarten classes, are those helpful?
To be perfectly honest with you, I find for me, what has been the most valuable is coming to the live presentations, seeing people's faces in the moment and hearing the conversation and feeling where they're coming from. It resonates and it makes sense. So in that moment, I'm not necessarily learning everything that I need, but I'm taking the pieces away from the experience so that later I'm thinking and I'm meditating and I'm pondering on them. And that helps me to move forward in my decision making and assessing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that. Mm-hmm. And it was put in the chat, so I'll put it on the record. Ordinary is common and common is public. So if you're an extra to all of that. And when you feel things that trigger you, how do you process them? So you just gave us an example, and we've seen, like when Ravina shares and our other loved ones, even listening to someone else process, it connects the dots for others. And most of all, it connects the dots for ourselves. We think we're out there sharing for everyone else. Most of the time it's like this, and sometimes it's very quick. So thank you for sharing again.
Another thing I do want to say, if it's okay, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be taking too much time, but just with the religious programming in the background, there's an expectation for change and healings to take place, but there seems to be not a lot of tools equipping to do so. What's really exciting with what you're putting out there and the checklist that you're talking about for the group is there are a number of things that you're saying, hey, here are the tools for your toolbox. Here, what does that look like? Show me what to do and how to do it. And so it resonated, it makes sense because it's very doable and actionable for people who are wanting to have tools.
And this is the significance, loved ones, of these live presentations. I figured out a while ago, there's no more profound impact than a living interaction. You can read a book all you like, but you're limited to your scope of your imagination and then the authors. That's it. When we have these live presentations, we can actually livingly interact with a number of energy sources all at the same time. So when we are experiencing these emotions, this roller coaster, when you can actually see an experience unfold in
Alivingly, they keep saying.
like
New word, Kim, alivingly.
when you can actually experience these moments in live time, you can actually see and have an emotional reaction and a scope of depth that you just can't get from reading a book. You can't get from watching a movie. And although
I don't think you get that in the replay either. I have to,
no, I don't think you can.
Or by being by yourself.
Come on, it's not the same in a replay. It really isn't.
And again, that's why I wanted to go live 6-8 hours a day, but we're not equipped. We're literally not equipped for me to do that. Whether it's internet problems and server problems or cost problems, or just the amount of infrastructure going on in the background to back up these presentations, all this stuff that has to happen. I can't lay it down as fast as I want to, believe it or not, but we're working on it. But you're right, Nick, the interaction capabilities of the live real time, there's nothing like it, which is why we are so adamant about getting all this on the record as much as we possibly can.
Sharing.
You will feel protected when you see other people acting vulnerably. You will learn how to act vulnerably because you just saw it.
Not even act.
Well, not act, but doing. Yeah, you'll actually, because you're witnessing it, this is how we learn how to love again.
New agreements.
It's a different kind of feel. I'm experiencing it.
Different kind of language. We're trying to find words for this, loved ones. We're having to put words out so that we learn how to use higher vibrational words. And the only reason we know this is because when you put them on our channels, they give me zaps when you're at alignment. And when you start tapping into these higher frequencies, eventually I can pass your zaps on to you. These are your lightning bolts. These are your alignments, your reprogramming. May I speak to Dave's wife, if she's open to it? The reason I want to speak to you.
Yes.
Is my heart remembers you. Sorry, I'm going to turn on my video. You have, well, it's not even, I can't stop looking at you.
Makes two of us.
I remember you. And I feel you. Dave, brace yourself. My brother. Brace yourself, my brother. This queen, this woman has been waiting for you to catch up. I know. I know. Because when a beautiful unicorn like you two come together, one of equity and one of spirit, don't think for 1 second the program, the spirits didn't make sure perfect combinations came together. Darren reminds me of that all the time. Do you know what unicorns we are, he says. A male and a female energy coming together as one. That's an anomaly that doesn't happen very often. So Carol, when you got a loved one, Bruce, when you have a queen, Nick, when you have a queen remembering her wings, we can grow a lot faster. May I ask your name, please?
Yes, it's Monica.
And loved ones, please, if you're going to join us regularly, please put your names up. When I used to do readings, I always insisted, I didn't care who you were, don't tell me anything about you. Give me the spelling of your name and do you resonate with it? That was always my question. Yes, I like my name and here it is. I didn't ask ever for people's last names. Interestingly enough, I just need their first name. Why? Because I'd say it 3 times with intentions of tapping into that energy, and I'd start writing. And they're actually saying, some of you loved ones, tap into the energy. So, sorry. They're like, careful, Jody. I did the wrong one there. Ugh. That's, did you see that online lightning bolt I just got? I was like, ugh. Welcome to higher dimensional aligning. That's why they're my teachers, not dead things. So, presence, they said. Connection next. Bring in the connection to clear you and ground you to Mother Gaia. You need to ground to Mother Gaia, loved ones, or you're going to be. And Monica, please put your name. Dave, if you can please include her in your name now.
I could squeeze her up there. I'm sure I could squeeze her up there.
And Nick, you as well, please. And Carol, if your husband continues. These phantom names, these fake, I don't even know who I'm talking to. I just have to go, okay, allow me to tap into this fake energy so I can give this fiction what the messages it needs. Can you please help me a little bit? Put your names up. The names you ordained yourself to come in with. So you energetically were imprinted with an energy. When people spell my name with an E or a Y, my skin crawls, as it should. That's not my vibration. It's Jodi. It's no different than when people say divergence 5. Ugh. No, it's divergence. I know we confused you a little bit with the die 5. But the die 5 is 5D. But allow me to get back to you, Monica. Don't you go anywhere, girl. I feel you. I see you listening to information that's resonating with you. At the same time, I feel you're heavy. You're dirty. And I know you're at a place where you can hear this and where I can go, come here, girl. I love you. We remember each other. I'm meant to have a soul agreement with you. Online, in public, I know. It would happen no other way. But come here. Be a brave queen. And look for everyone to see. To go, you know what? I haven't been living up to my greatest potential. I have been downplaying my abilities and my powers. And I have been neglecting myself, they're saying, and giving way too much to others. And thank you for the realignment of knowing I need to presence, open up, clean, feed. So I'm always coming from a full cup, they're saying. They're going, they're drawing 20%. You're coming in with a 20% cup, honey. Which means you just need to fill up more. That's all. You need to do more meditations, they're saying, where you need to cut cords, where you are feeding people that are draining you of your other 80%. You're not at 20% unless you're feeding dysfunctionally, honey. You will know who these people are. And you're feeding these people because you're wanting feedings. You don't feed unless there's a profit. It's our instinct. But whoever you're trying to feed from is not your natural source of feeding. So Spirit is saying, Monica, you know better. You're in this group because your wings are big and you're They're showing me your legs are already strong. Your alignment will be quick and fast. If you start cleaning, cutting cords where you're expecting feedings, and start feeding from where you're supposed to. Those are your messages. How is that resonating with you?
Oh, you hit it spot on. Spot on. And it's interesting because the cutting cords meditation that you did, I've done that a number of times, and I find it's powerful every time. The first time really, really blew my mind, and I really felt it.
Do you know what this is?
Mm-mm.
This is your ability to express yourself. That's the back of your throat chakra, honey. And spirit keeps circling children. Why would they be circling that?
I haven't a clue.
Okay.
My grandchildren, maybe?
No,
No? My
Children.
little you?
no, children. Cords. This, you don't have to give it. That, loved ones, you see that? That was a whole bunch of dots coming together. And our spiritually enlightened queen is putting that energy together right now. Mama, you have coursed your children. The loving cords will never be cut, only the dysfunctional ones. Rest assured.
I don't have children.
Sorry?
I said I don't have children. I have stepchildren and step-grandchildren. But
Who are
I didn't
your
have any
spiritual children? they're saying.
in this lifetime.
Who are your spiritual children? They're saying.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You have beings, they're saying you have been ordained over, and they're showing me your wings. You were meant to be a protective force for these younger ones. This is the thing. Don't get caught up on who you squirt out in this world. You've made soul agreements. You got mama wings right now, honey. And right now they're misaligned. And they're saying, trust that these younger ones have enough of a knowing that they're going to be okay without you for a little bit while you align. Like more than fine. They're all right. Detach, cut, bring in Archangel Michael, cut all dysfunctional cords. Because here's the thing. This is a part of the cutting I haven't talked about with loved ones. When I worked with this archangel, he would cut and I would see cords still left. And I'd look at him. And he'd say, they're not ready to cut those ones yet. And if I force you to cut them, it's a trespass. So these dysfunctional cords need to exist in your reality until you can grow past them. And I don't know who these little ones are. That's why I thought they were children. But all I know is their energy is waiting, is what they're saying. For you. You've been trying to help them this whole time. And the more you step into your power and step into who you are and who you're meant to be and your wings, these Little ones are going to look at you and oof, I want to meet all of them. Whoever you're working with right now, I want to at least meet them. They're special, just like you. But Spirit's going, enough. You know better. You are doing repetitive patterns, repetitive ways of being that are not serving you, and you know it. They're saying. So this is now about detaching from what currently feeds you, because any dysfunctional forms of feeding will be soured. Any dysfunctional forms of feeding are being soured. So if you're feeding from dysfunctional sources, it's not going to have quite the same punch, the same hit. So then we look at these ones and like, give us more. These ones are like, nah, fuck off. That's why there's so much of this in families right now. Instead of just going, this is about me. If I'm being pissed off, this is about me. I'm letting this piss me off. The energy of that is irritating the energy of me. And the only way that energy can irritate me is unless that energy is already in me.
We had this talk the other day.
Otherwise, it would just roll off you. It would be a lesson already learned. It would just off your wings, loved ones. So if it's in your face, you're fighting. It's just Spirit cranking it up, going, tune yourself. May the mirrors in front of you reflect where you need to heal. Not them, especially if they're younger. Stop trying to change them. They're not supposed to change. They're waiting for you. So, Monica, thank you. I've seen your face before. I recognize your presence. I remember your energy. And all I know is Spirit's going like this. Come on, girl. Let's go. You got this. Fuck, this is not your first rodeo. It's not your first rodeo. Come on. This is the petri dish right now. We are in it. Represent. Put on the record that, you know what? Finally, something I can invest in. Something I believe in. Something that makes me feel and think differently. It feels good and in alignment. Brings me some joy in this shit world. This is a thing. You're bogged down with the 3D. It's exhausting. It's depriving of your soul. It's meant to be. Stop plugging into it. Stop feeding from it. Loved one, this is about feeding now from a different source. Thank you.
Nice to see you again, Jody.
Mwah. Love you. Hey, Carol, talk to me.
Hi. Rod just yelled from the living room. He wants to say something, so I'm going to let him talk first.
I was hoping you would come.
Yes,
Hello,
I really
the
enjoyed
famous
myself.
Rod.
Awesome.
We've heard so much about.
Oh, really? Probably not a lot of it good, I don't think.
I think actually all of it good, honey. We've been supporting you as this
Well,
beautiful
thank you
queen
very much.
beside you caught up to you.
Thank you very much. And I got lots out of it tonight. I had learned about the breathing through your stomach quite a few years ago, but I never practiced it hardly, once in a while. But I am going to do that a lot more now. And I'll be back for more for the next. I'm going to be
The next live.
I'm going to be more active. I read all the other. I go online and read all the stuff, but
And
I
I've
will
had him
find
watch
out.
all your videos too. Like,
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
can only imagine you did.
Carol,
Rod, do you want to watch this one?
Carol and I
And
are
Rod,
basically
thank you.
opposites in, I'm very quiet. Well, we know Carol is not quiet.
Yin and yang.
So, the
Beautiful.
yin and the yang, yes, exactly right. So,
Beautiful. And thank you for showing up. Although we watched many times you grabbed your throat, and Spirit is saying you will not have to withhold your truth so much with
Okay.
the presence to your right. She's catching up so that your knowings, when you know
Mhm.
them and speak them, she's now at a
Yeah.
place that she can hear them. It's gonna,
Very
your
nice.
relationship is gonna be much more, the old word was conducive, much more merging.
More merging. Wonderful. Looking forward to it.
And it's going to be beautiful too, because we see many spouses on this channel
Mhm.
coming together. We're
Mhm.
unicorns, loved ones.
It usually
To
takes me a
have your
lot to
loved
go
one
on.
beside you is huge.
It usually takes me a lot to kind of come on board on stuff. I just kind of sit back in the sidelines for a while and kind of observe
Feel it out.
for a while, feel it out for a while. I never really jump into anything.
Even like if I met a new friend and I'm like, come on, let's go to the party. And he'd be like, no, you can go by yourself. And then I'm like, well, why don't I invite them here? Then you can meet them on your own turf. And then next thing you know, we're friends. Like
That's
Rod's
what I
always never jumps in like me, where I'm just like, let's fucking do it.
Nor
Carol
should
jumps into
he.
everything.
I know.
He needs to
Sorry,
feel
I
clean.
know. I
And
get it now.
But it's
I
not
get
that
it.
it's wrong,
Yeah.
because you just, and this is what he loves about you, Carol, is you jump blindly. He doesn't have that. That's why he
jumps
admires
blindly,
it
all
about
right.
his woman.
Here, sign here, Rod. Just
Sign
sign
here.
this paper.
Everything will be fine, Ron. Just sign here. Just
But
sign
at the
here.
same time,
As
he's
if
your
they're gonna
voice of
do that
reason,
to
which
us.
is what grounds you, Carol. He takes you from the clouds and gives you a little grounding, which you need. This is how you complement one another.
Carol's
Darren,
had
you're
me,
very different.
Carol's had me sign so many things in what we've been through, as if they're gonna do anything. Okay, you sure? Yeah, they're not gonna do it. Well, they did something. So I can laugh about it now, but
Yeah.
at the time, it's like.
It's frustrating.
It's quite
Exactly.
frustrating, yes. Mhm.
So thank you. And we're happy to be able to join you two together, and
Yes,
just
I'm happy
keep
to.
keep open this form of communication, because
Yes,
you're going to teach other couples how to work through this, because you're not meant to be perfectly synced. You're going to
course not.
have your programs and Carol's programs trying to come together. No different than Nick
yeah.
and Joanne.
of
No
course.
different than, Dave and his wife. Monica, you're going to have your
Yeah,
different belief systems. It's about going, okay, honey, you're feeling different than me. Let's just talk about what you feel and not attach. What's that reminding you of? Where couples can pull out universal tools together
mhm,
to go, hey, honey.
yeah,
Or you can go, hey, I don't know. I just kind of feel your cup's a little empty. So I'm going to do the dishes for you. Or I'm just going to create a space for you. Or you can go and have 20 minutes and go connect with the angels, and you come back, honey. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, do that to a woman. Watch what happens. Women, when your man comes home from work going, you know what, honey, I know I've been taking care of the kids, or I know you're tired. So go feed. I'll hold the fort down for another 20 minutes.
that's what I did. I was Mr. Mom.
Yeah, I worked and he stayed home with the kids.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'll let you go.
well, I just wanted to get you in there because
Okay.
he's yelling from the living room. Tell them this. I'm like, no, you need to come here.
I had a
You
cat.
need to come here.
I had the cat on me. Once the cat's on me, that's it.
Oh, you're realigning. Perfect.
The cat is very important.
Hey,
here.
actually, you know what?
Plus,
Since
she has magic powers too. So
Cats.
I've been doing all this, the cat usually is on him. She's been on me lots. I'll be doing my meditation, the cat's on me.
mhm.
It's so cool. She's like, I'm like, she likes me more than you now, Rod.
That cat runs me actually. People come in the house. I'm like, that's Abby the cat. She runs the place.
Okay.
Love
So
it.
I'll let you go.
Thank you, Rod. We'll see you soon.
The only question I had, I know Jody, you went, hey, Carol, when Darren was talking about everything being live and that impact of being on a live, I always notice the queens are scanning the room all the time. Like they're very unemotional. And I'm like, are they like tapping into like my energy to see? Because it's almost like if I laugh at something, someone's typing something. She laughed. Like I'm wondering if that's what's actually going on. No, it's like, okay, wait a second, they just typed something. So, okay, maybe, anyways, I just think it's funny.
Oh, Queens, that one's yours to answer.
No. Sorry, that just made all of this. So we are scanning. Everything is on the record, but it's not quite like that.
Yeah.
But we are paying attention and we are holding the space, and there's a lot of behind the scenes to make sure that you guys receive the messages you're supposed to with the energy that is
Gotcha.
intended for this now moment.
Well, thank you for what you guys do. Because I can tell that you're doing something because you're so serious.
We like to, feel the energy, and as Kim was saying, and Jody after comes, and we come with messages and with readings that could help everyone and the group. So and we love doing that because we become like a family. It's as we're holding the space for each other, we learn about each other as well. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. You guys got those powers. I know we all have them, but that's pretty cool.
We all have them. Yes, we do. And another thing I wanted to touch up very quickly, as we're talking about one of our tools, which is the cutting cords, and that is one comes up quite often, a very important one, considering all that amalgaming of the programming we have inside, as Jody was saying before, and we need to cut. It is hard. It is difficult, let's say, that to remove those programming from ourselves. So I wanted to just touch base and see which are the tools that you have found yourselves using the most since you learned them, like cutting cords or the breath, the being present. When you get triggered, what is the tools that you go to most often? Or as Joe was explaining before regarding the religious programming, the words. When some of these words trigger you, what do you do? Do you go see the definition, as we learned through the lives, that could be a source of changing the source of learning? Because sometimes we are so programmed that we never doubt the source of that programming. We never question it unless someone else comes along. And what is your source of learning and teachings now? If someone would like to share. Thank you.
I'm still unmuted, so I'll just answer really quick. The meditation in the morning and a meditation at night. I don't actually really use tools during the day because I don't think of them. Like I go, okay, I'm going to do my meditation and that's going to fill my cup. And then I have my day. And then at night, I'm like, okay, I got to do another meditation and fill my cup. I'm not engaged yet with the toolbox, I guess.
Can we tweak that a little bit? In the morning when you go and do your meditation, maybe set some intentions. to use tools throughout the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Because I've noticed that you're very aware of what you know you should do and don't do. So you already know, and it's
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So I'm thinking intentions would make a big difference for you, because you're very aware and you're very present in all of our chats. So I think a slight tweak would help you with that.
Okay. Thanks.
Mhm. Would anybody else like to share? Just Jessica, you want to share? Okay.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted now. Yeah, so a couple of the tools that I find that I'm using most prominently are, I'm becoming very aware of the words that I'm using. So the Minding Your Words course was really huge for me. So much so that I'm starting to notice and get realigned and corrected when I'm using more lower vibrational words. So once they come out of my mouth, I'm going, oh no, that's not what I meant. Let me go back and fix the words. And then the other one, being able to connect and charge, that was not something that I was practicing regularly, and I found that it has not only allowed me to become a little bit more present, mixed in with the power of your words, or minding your words class. It's also allowed me to have better communication with my spouse and kids and family and friends. I believe I'm starting to get the true meaning of what I'm trying to say across a little bit easier.
Perfect. I was actually going to ask, but you kind of brought it up, how it impacted, with your spouse and your kid, but you already touched on that, because I think that is we know we're doing the work and we know the tools and we're becoming more aware. And sometimes it is nice to, oh, wow, not only do we feel the impact, but those around us and our families and our homes too. It's a big one. Do you still have your hand up? No? Okay. Would anybody else like to share? Okay. There you
Am I unmuted or no? Okay. I was just gonna say, for me, the first time I meditated was with divergent. I had never done that before. So that was all a very new experience for me. The tool that I have found particularly helpful is connecting to source and bring myself into alignment wherever I may be and need that. So initially when I did that, and Jody was talking about opening your crown, like the lotus flower, it was so figurative that I thought, I don't know if I'm doing this right. How is this supposed to happen? Is this happening in my physical body? Like, what is going on? And I was just really questioning it. And then I started to feel the change from me doing that. So because I felt it, then I recognized that, well, so this is working and it's okay. Previously, having all my little check boxes to go through, but not really trusting my feeling and what I was sensing, that was a change for me. So being able to know that I have the ability to gauge that myself, that was empowering.
Ravina, do you want to say something?
Yes. It is very interesting how until we get to that practice or that moment presence within ourselves through the quiet space of meditation, that we recognize the power that we hold, because we actually allow ourselves to feel more and not get distracted by the environment by outside, and we can see more of ourselves, we can feel more of ourselves, and we can allow the power that, as I said before, the power of breath. Until I did it, I wouldn't have known how powerful that is. And until you started that meditation and felt it, you actually know how powerful you are by doing that. The more you do it, the more you'll be able to actually practice it even often, because you'll be so proud of yourself, because you know you have it, you hold it, and we all do. Yes. Kim?
The more we are aware of the place of peace, the more often you're in it.
And the more you want to go there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dave, I think you have your hand up.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I could definitely see we're all in different different paths, and we, all taking different paths. I've been looking into the common law and, well, not really equity, but the common law stuff for quite some time, and I watched Dean's Clifford videos back in the day. But I just have a lot of patience within me, and realize that we're all, in different places, and I get that, and but I've come to find many ways to get myself centered and grounded, and I've looked into many different methods to do that, and modalities. And one thing that I want to bring up, but I just don't know how it's going to be accepted. But there are magical plants and medicines out there that can also help us too, with healing and removing fears, and helping along the journey of dropping all those programs that we've been programmed with all of our life. And so if anybody ever thought about that, I know I would definitely be there for anybody that ever had any questions when it came to any type of magic medicines that one might take. And I know if somebody spends some time online, they'll find many very credible doctors and scientists that are talking about different mushrooms and medicines that one could take to help them kind of find that spot. And once you find it, then you know how to get back to that. You know what it feels like. And that's what all I'm saying. It's nothing that I partake in on a regular basis, but usually over the past 6 or 7 years, I come to the conclusion that I think it could help anybody and everybody once or twice a year, just to find that place of love. It's such an unconditional place of love, and it's just so beautiful. So with that, I yield, and I'm a pretty shy guy for the most part, and I just like to stay low and observe. I'm very much of a watcher. So
yeah, you know what, Dave, most appreciated brother. I started the first half of this meat suits journey as an observer as well. I think I've maybe told these stories on previous recordings that my family used to make fun of me for not responding when I was asked a question, or where they expected a certain response from me. My mother and my one grandmother used to make fun of me because I would make a grunting sound instead of actually answering their questions. What they failed to realize was, spiritually, I was not entertained by their behavior. When Jody talks about our youngsters are beyond our capabilities, I got to experience that firsthand. So the observer was a very key component that led me to actually be able to see things, because I was being mindful of it back when I was very young. it wasn't because I was shy and I was quiet. No, Dave, I came into my power at the exact time I was supposed to. Observers are very, very, very important members of what we're trying to do here. They're the ones that pay attention.
And
They're the ones that are
gatherers.
They're mindful. They're the ones that you want to seek counsel from because they pay attention. He who speaks all the time has very little time to listen. So
my grandpa always told me when I was young, real little, that I had 2 ears and 1 mouth. So
well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
it really stuck with me for all my life.
What? And just to further, this is a little bit off the mark for what we were just talking about. But when Jody was mentioning about earlier breathing through our nose, so Dave, you're mentioning modalities and plant-based medicines and things of this nature. This is going to lead me into the breath through the nose that I wasn't able to do when I was younger, because when I was up till about in my early 20s, I had a very congested nasal system. I didn't really understand.
As most enlightened ones do.
I didn't understand why. I didn't understand where it was coming from. And again, so what I wanted to just talk about here just briefly was the health side of what our lifestyles ought to be reflecting. This is how I got ahead of my nasal congested problems. And you know what, loved ones, I mean, I went to one of those allergy specialists. You know, I had 106 little pricks in one shoulder and 85 in the other one, pumping you with everything imaginable just to see what you reacted to. It was like, the doctor's like, well, you're pretty much allergic. Yeah, you're pretty much allergic to everything. I remember that.
Horrible.
You know, here's what cured it for me though. One day I woke up, I started to really be conscious of my intake or what I ate in regards to dairy and wheat. As soon as I got my head wrapped around that one, guess what happened to all that congested, nasally, fluidy stuff? So I'm laughing at this. Jody's saying to breathe through your nose, breathe through. You know what? When I was 20, I wasn't able to even do that. All because of our diets. When we can actually fine tune our diets, when we can actually be a little bit more mindful of the things we're putting in our mouths, we're actually feeding our church, our spiritual building, your house, your temple, you're it walking around.
Sugar's another one.
So Dave, yeah, I completely agree with you, brother, about the health side of the spirituality side of the equity side. Okay, so now we're like 3 layers, 4 layers deep. And it's important that we actually try to do our best every day with not just the equity, the spiritual, but you know what? Don't be having those sugary cereals first thing in the morning. And now I know I'm just going to say that. I'm just saying that for the record. I can guarantee not one individual loved one on this program tonight eats sugary cereal in the morning.
Do you feed your loved ones that though?
So we need to be a little bit more conscious of all those chemicals, again, that are probably specifically designed to keep us a little bit number and dumber than we ought to be.
Dyes, numb and dumbs.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know what? We're coming into these powers of knowing, and this is just one more aspect of it.
And this isn't necessarily about eating meat or vegetables. When we become alchemists, when we have the ability to charge and change energy, to be able to take an animal that we're about to eat and give it grace and honor, to clear its karmic energetic attachment, to clear it of any fear or pain, and then to charge it with everything your body needs and to discard anything it doesn't. That's the blessing I give all of my meat. Because here's the thing, Darren and I eat 80% meat. I know that's going to ruffle some feathers. Because here's the thing, I was almost a vegetarian before I met this man. But he taught me it's not about what the light workers of 3D taught me, which is I can connect to the energy of the meat when it's processed and I can feel it. Well, then how about you alchemize it? How about you manipulate it? How about you transmute it, where you now take that energy? Do you think a fucking chicken came here to govern and rule the world? Do you think that consciousness came in thinking it was not on some level going to be eaten. So knowing this, how about we just now honor this soul that came in, whether the beings that were around it chose rightly or wrongly to now take it in its current state, to release it of any pain, to release it of any fear. Take it literally, loved ones, grab that energy and throw it out the window. Mother Earth, Mother Gaia knows what to do with it. Just grab it, throw it. They never wanted us to learn how to alchemize our food. And then put your hand over and ask that this meat now be charged, or these vegetables be charged with the energy your body needs right now, discarding anything it doesn't, easily and effortlessly. Poof. Welcome to food of another dimension, another level, another grade. You don't need to eat as much, loved ones. Your food is now mindfully energized and released of any energy that's dead, programmed. You're now aware. And here's the thing, Spirit knows what you want. You don't have to say it with every meal. Come on now. They're high omnipotent beings. I very rarely have to go and charge, but I know when a certain meat or certain food where my eyes are drawn to it. So I go to it. I don't question. I just, okay, release of any energy that's not going to serve me, charge it with all the energy I need right now. It's that easy. They never wanted you to know that. Watch what happens to your food every meal. Put your hands around it. Charge it with light. Get rid of all the dark. Watch what happens. We're not meant to eat food. Where we're going, food will not nourish us. So, start, loved ones, and they're putting my hands together. Charge your food. First of all, if you're eating meat, release it of any pain, of any energy it experienced. Honoring and giving it grace and love. Thanking it, giving it gratitude. Your cord's now cut to it. Now, take this energy form, because come on, we're in a matrix. It's whatever we want it to be. It's just energy. So now take that energy and make it whatever you want. You know what? I know I just bought this from Safeway, Walmart, whatever. And I know the animals were treated very poorly. So first of all, may I honor the animal. May I give it love and respect. May I cut all cords to itself so it may be released to the higher etherics, knowing it did its job and it was received with honor and respect. And now may I take this piece of energy and charge it now with anything my body needs or anything the bodies need that it's being ingested into. And may these bodies easily discard what's not for their best and highest good. People eat my meals and they're like, why is your food so good? I'll tell you why. Because the animals they're eating have been honored, respected, released of their karmic energy. This food is now charged with what the bodies need that they're going into, and any bodies they're going into that can't transmute or process the energy of which they are easily and effortlessly discarded. Eat from that family. Oh, bless your food every time you do that, family. Mothers, every meal you make, and at the very least, your dinner. Know that we're in a program, so everything you're giving your child has a program to it. So charge it. Change its program. If you're going to give your child shit, remove the shit and charge it. You can do that. That's the power of manipulating energy. You can take a box of shit and you can make it to a box of light in seconds. The evil ones never wanted you to know that. Shh. If you only knew how thin the veil was, how easy it was. Feel this, loved ones. Try it. Go do it. You're some of the few who have been able to stick around and keep hearing these messages. Some of our loved ones, they couldn't even handle it. The fact that we have this many, well done. Now go do this. Come back. Go chart this map that we have no fucking clue of. Because your journey, I don't know that map. I only know mine. And all I can do is come back and tell you mine. And that's going to give you some tools. And you're like, whew, whew. So when you're in the part of your map where you're like, Jody and Divergence, they didn't tell me about this part, but holy shit, I got 3 tools and superpowers I can throw out right now. Mwah. Poof. This map is now your bitch. That's right. Wings extend. New path is found. Let's go. But let's start feeding our bodies better. And we have more knowledge coming down the pipeline as far as certain things you can do to give you little charges, hidden wisdom they never wanted you to know about, especially around vitamin C. If you're taking Jameson or any brand name vitamin, please stop. Just stop. Vitamin C that is not taken with baking soda is relevant. Vitamin C without baking soda is irrelevant. And vitamin C is a beautiful white concoction for the white light, loved ones. And if you want more knowledge, we'll give it to you. Our queens will give it to you. These are all things that we can start putting into our bodies that are in conjunction with meditation and energy purges. So we can start getting alignment with these galactic beings and this higher way of being. Loved ones, we got this. Well done. All right. We'll see you soon.
Robin, I wanted to touch on how much calmer your energy is today. And that we do love seeing your light on our Zooms. But I'd noticed a big change in you today. And even your smile, you seem like just calm, present. Did you?
Yeah, it's been a big shift for me. Many of you probably don't know that Michael and I traveled together through these realms. And so we have also brought through some big different ways of being with each other. Like Dave, Michael's really quiet. And I've learned a lot about being present and healing through my own. There's so many layers that seem to come through in authenticity and just grounding in that. And yeah, a lot of it was arrogance, you know, prideful arrogance. Probably a lot more humility. I've also gone to the courthouse and for some reason they're letting me file like everything online. They said they had a bunch of snowstorms, and so I'm filing now with my general petition and my private petition, and I have a special assistant that's sending paperwork where it needs to go, and I just feel so relaxed in that. Status is definitely shifted to the private, so that's a big deal for me. Like just owning like who I really am, authenticity with that, and you know, I love you guys. I feel you. I feel every one of you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Does anybody else want to add anything, comments? Anything else? I mean, I have lots of wisdom and we could keep going for all night, but this is for you guys to share as well. You guys are pointing at each other, but muted. I think that's from before. Sorry, Dave's hand. So if you guys, if anything comes up from now till then, feel free to share it on Telegram. Because as you guys see, when you do show up on Telegram, more messages come to you. And I know that we talk to each other on many platforms. And I will be uploading most of the things tonight. So you can either wake up with it tomorrow morning, or if it's which I'm not sure for anyone here, if it's the beginning of your day, then you have all day to sit with it. Yeah. No.
Sorry, yeah, I just had a specific question there about the breathing and wondering if there's like certain breathing technique that is more effective for certain situations or certain, I'm not sure if Joanne had another way to communicate what she was feeling or asking about.
Well, do you just use what you want? Like there was a couple of different ways that we did it tonight. Was it intended to be used in specific scenarios?
Very good question. Thank you for asking. So from my experience, since I've taken this, is the inhibiting pain is it's obviously if you have pain, but I think you will naturally be drawn to one of the 3 or 4 methods as it comes. I really like the 9 count is one that it's easy to remember and I go to, but that's something that I was drawn to. I think that's maybe something for you to find out and explore and practice your wings in. Yeah. And then
I was kind of thinking that anyways, but I didn't know if the intention was it to indicate otherwise, but yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And remember, it's just because it works like that for me or for Ravina or anybody else, you have your own path too, right? So if it turned out to be a specific way for me and it's a bit different for you, come share that with us. So we get a whole new vision or a whole new part of the map that we didn't know it could affect you that way. And also for me, I found there's a certain magic in knowing that it could be different for me. And I'm going to go practice this. So it's kind of like you get to practice your own magic with the tools. And oh, I saw your face really smile at that. And I know that we want specific tools for this and that, but I'm like, you're the alchemist. You also get to work your magic and see what you like. And what works now, it might be very different from a year ago. And so, yeah, you can find your magic in it. And that's a lot of fun. Yes. Okay. So Jody put it in the chat on what it means to add feathers to another's wings. And this is something that's grown with us the more we grow as queens is feel free to hop in. Jody, I have like right now. Unless you want to hold that space.
No, but you're going to add to it.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Here you are, loved ones. And we see your wings. And here's the thing. You're the only ones we see wings with. And we talk about not fixing your crown. I will not fix your crown. But I will add feathers to your wings. If I see you don't believe in yourself, that you feel you're unworthy, I will add pink feathers and wisdoms in alignment with that. To be able to energetically implant those in you. So as you feel them, your sisters, your brothers are adding them to your wings. Believing in you before you did. Because they remembered you before you did. This is a big thing. This is not enabling. 3D enables. Adding specific and charged wings to your queens and kings coming up the line. Feathers that you know that will aid and serve them, not enable them or take energy from them. Very different. Very cognizant. Cognizant. Starts with key. Gotta find another word. Socialness just doesn't have the same ring. We're going to find another word. But just, it's different. Do you feel? This is very big, loved ones, because we talk about staying in your own lane from day one, because it's harder than you think. Oh, you're like, I have this new knowing. I connected all these dots. I'm going to tell you about it, and then I'm going to tell you where you're bleeding and broken. And our loved ones around us go, as they should. Don't feed from me. Don't tell me where I'm broken, especially if I'm younger. Stay in your own lane. Heal in your own lane. That was another big message. As light workers, imagine healing from your own lane. My queens are learning that.
Specific breathing for that lane.
And specific breathing for that lane, as Darren just said. going, these are my intentions. So I stopped smashing my emotional dysfunctional cart, 3D cart, into those around me that I love the most, that are just holding their space for me. That's the lesson. And Carol, girl, that's why when you're like, I've had no really lessons coming up. I'm like, oh, I knew I was going to be that for you. But here's the thing. I know I ruffled a lot of feathers giving that message. Like I said, I was shaking, not for you though, for the other ones, because I know the way you needed your message to be delivered. And I did it in a blah. My queens are learning this in a blah manner. Be loving and healing. If my intentions are always to be loving and healing, I will stand in that. Yes, Carol.
The only thing, like, I totally get what you're saying. I totally I don't understand the lesson.
First of all,
the mirror.
Hold on. So Spirit says, so first of all, you don't totally.
Okay, I don't totally anything.
Okay, so first of all, reword. I get this, but I don't get that. When you are clearer on my programming is aligning with this, but I'm getting blocks with that, we can work with that easier. When you collage it with, I totally get it, but, well, then you don't. Okay?
Oh man, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So tell me what you get and then tell me what you don't get.
Staying in my own lane.
You get.
Okay, so I get stay in your own lane. I get,
but you don't do it. But you don't do it.
Well, you didn't tell me I had to add a but. You just said, tell me.
Yeah, but if you know it, you would not be doing it.
My question is, she's holding up a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what lesson it is she's trying to show me. I really don't.
Honey, I want you to go back to the messages that were posted for you.
And read them over and over again.
Multiple times.
Okay.
That's how blocked you are. You are not even realizing this girl is holding space for you because you feed off her.
She feeds off me too.
You feed first, and your mother. You know better. You're teaching her how to feed dysfunctionally. Stop it. I'm buzzing. Here's the messages came through and you still, loved ones. And thank you, Carol. That's why we love this woman. Why? She's got thick skin. I gave her these messages and she still didn't hear them. Carol, you continue to send dysfunctional forms of feeding to your daughter. That's why Nick is grabbing at his neck right now.
It doesn't. I love that she's being brutally honest. It's like freaking smack me around. Fuck, do it.
That's
like,
why she's more enlightened.
Pardon me?
That's why she's more enlightened.
But
no,
there's a story behind it. There's a huge story behind it too. And it's like
story. Your smaller story, according to her bigger one that she knows about, that she's trying to go, hey, mom. And you're going, no. And still to the point where, oh, girl, I was shaking giving you these messages. I was like, Darren, oh.
Don't ever be afraid.
And I wasn't.
Don't ever be afraid to tell me what I need to know.
So I did, and you still didn't know it, honey.
I'm going to go print it. I promise I'll read it over and over again.
No, you're on the next level already. Honey, stay with me.
Okay.
Stay with us.
Okay.
Next, you're on to the next level because that didn't work.
Oh shit.
I know. Okay, though. You're teaching many loved ones. That's why I love you're holding this space.
Well, can I do the enter a lightning bolt?
Yes. Okay. Yes, your lightning bolt is right now.
Okay.
You keep attaching a cord to your daughter to feed. Sorry, she's a big titty for you.
Okay.
I know.
It's all good.
Some mamas, they're like, that makes me uncomfortable because you probably are doing it. This is a thing. And thank you, Carol, for holding this space because most parents feed from their children this way. And these younger, more omnipotent beings are looking at their parents and going, number one, stop putting this shit into my body. Number two, stop attaching your dysfunctional lower dimensional cords to me. Mom, Dad.
Yeah.
Stop feeding off of me. Look at why. I just want, they don't get it. You don't get it. If they don't get it, you don't get it. Come on. If they're younger, they're smarter. If they're younger, they're more aligned. If they're younger, they're more omnipotent than you. Honor the fact that you were the birthing source of these souls. That's it.
Yeah.
You brought them into this 3D world. You are nothing but a birthing source. That's why these ones will be taken away from you if you are not honoring them. Why? They will be taken to their spiritual family where they are free to express themselves and grow and learn and be who they're supposed to be. And if you're not getting in line, if you're not getting your shit together, your children will be taken from you. You don't like it? Good. I know. We're ruffling feathers right now. As
mine are both adults, so I'm not worried about that. They're 26 and 28. They don't even live with us. But
yet they affect you so much.
The one. The other one's fine. The other one's, yeah.
The one.
The mini me.
Oh, me. That one keeps shining. Their light.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I know this is going to ruffle feathers because this is meant for us to realize the pod we're in, the belief systems, the hookups, and then the hookups of cords upon cords. And then we take those and attach them to our children. This is now your belief system, your feeding source. Do you know how many cords I had to cut from my programming where I learned a form of healing, Reiki, the oldest form of healing, 5,000 years ago. Jesus taught it, the healing of hands. To have my mother say, you are working with the devil, Jody. You know what I said to her? Then high five, Satan. We're helping and healing a lot of people. To which my mother went, thank you, Mother, for continuing to hold the mirror of who I need to be.
Wow.
Observe and listen more carefully.
Observe and listen more carefully for other messages from the children, Darren said. Be more patient. Out of the mouth of babes, the Bible speaks of. Who do you think they were referring to? You? Are you a babe? They're trying to draw our attention because they speak wisdom. And we're like, no, you must conform to this. You must comply to these rules. Go in this program, submit to these belief systems. And these younger programs are losing their mind, as they're supposed to reflect it to us. This is not right. And we go, submit, settle down. No, turn it up, little ones. And we're going to infuse you with so much power and light that you can't help but spew this to the parents before you. This is about the collective rising. And we can infuse such energies to turn your dial up, and we will. Because if you're not listening, we're going to make you. If you still don't listen.
Enter lightning bolts.
Owie! Oh, yeah. And these are the 3D lightning bolts. Wait till you go to the 5D. You'll, okay, listen. It's like, okay. And it's because energetically you feel it. That's why we don't learn from the dead. We don't seek counsel from the dead. We seek counsel from the living. The being. Big difference.
Thank you.
This is not about being above or egotistical or unteachable. I peaked my spiritual progression, and then this man entered, took me to a whole other level. We went and spread the word to everyone and got lightning bolts like you wouldn't believe. To the point where for 10 months, divergence went black. The spirit went, okay, you want to go there? Then you come with us. Because don't you go back to these loved ones without a map, without teachings, knowings, wisdom, or they won't trust you. We knew you wouldn't trust us, loved ones, unless we could come back with a map. We're coming back with a map, with tools. Do them. Watch what happens. There's nothing else out there right now that is this highly attuned, that is this aligned to where we have to go. Why? Because we have equity. We have the 30%. Now it's about teaching the other 70. So when we have loved ones going, when are the next lives going on? Really? Where the fuck are you on the other 70%? Sorry. See, I caught myself. Kim is holding a space for me where she's like, Jody, you say you're sorry a lot. Why? Because when I know it's going to really hit loved ones, I sometimes say I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. It's almost a layup when I listen and she's like, I'm sorry, but I know I'm going to hold that space.
But I know. Why the fuck am I saying sorry when I know? So thank you, Kim. She brought this to my attention this morning. She was supposed to hold the space for me. As soon as it came to my lips, I vibrationally knew. We have to stand in the space of knowing what our loved ones need to hear, absent their feelings.
And sometimes we got to take a step back to see that space.
And sometimes we have to take a step back to see that space. It's not about reacting right away. Hold. Feel it. See it. Be with it. Let the higher orders counsel you, not this dirty, fucking filthy organ. We're learning this now, loved ones. This is where you go. Go here. Get quiet. Get clean. Watch what happens. That's why they didn't want us to know about this. It was so simple. Just like equity. It's so simple. It's meant to be. But you need to have the glasses. You have to have the equity glasses and the spiritual ones. So as you go through the tunnel, you put them on. You got your armor, you got your gear. And when you get flushed, you come out with your wings and you don't drop into a pool of water. Your wings catch you, kings and queens, and you land in your new world and go, hey, I'm here. Let's rock. Who needs me? That's what spirit needs. That's what the 5D needs. That's what the garden needs. Where you come in, landing with your wings, not being flushed out, where something has to come save you. And you're, no, that's not how you come into the garden, loved ones. Spirit needs to take you out and needs to transform you. This is what you're learning right now. So that on your next flush, you won't go into no pool. You won't go into no water where you cannot support yourself. You come out of that chute with your wings spread. And you land with your big, beautiful wings dragging behind you, saying, how may I serve? Not how can you heal me? You won't come out of the chute where spirit needs to come save you. Or the Galactic Family needs to bring you to the light and get your muscles. No. Your next flush, you got wings. Wings they never wanted you to know about on the flush, where you go through that tunnel and you see those circles of light. That's the divergence lights we speak of. Go there, learn these tools. Don't go flushing down too quick. Stop. Mindfully go, you know what? I know about this flush. I don't have to go down it this fast. I'm going to learn this tool. Because they talk about me learning wings. Right now, I'm looking at myself. I'm looking a little Ethiopian. If you're looking a little Ethiopian, may we divert you to a download booth, to a spiritual tool. Something that as you're going down this, you can keep adding so that by the time you get to the end of the chute, you apply everything you know. Welcome to your wings. It's not just one tool, loved ones. It's multiple. And you need to be able to, as a superpower, engage all of them. If Superman just came out with his tidy whities, would he have his superpowers? Everyone would be looking in all the wrong places. So, loved ones, get that visual. They wanted you to see Neo dysfunctional, malnourished, That's one way to exit the old world. That's one way. The other way is to come out that chute with your wings and you land. What say you? How do you want to land? And with that, I bid you adieu. Love you.